Do you ever look at someone and wonder,
What is going on during her period?
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did.
Something's wrong.
Hey love, welcome. I'm Greta and I hope girls and women learn about and connect to their periods and menstrual cycles, help them to step into their truest selves and learn how to take care of the deeper parts of themselves. So if that's something that you want to, then subscribe and stick around. What is happening during your period? To all my young girls out there, I don't want you to be afraid if you have your period already and you're just feeling uncomfortable with it, or if you haven't gotten your period yet and you're just like nervous and apprehensive. I just want you to know you don't have to be afraid, and with some knowledge and understanding comes a lot of comfort, and I'm going to give you that today. Okay, so let's talk about your period and what the heck is happening during your period. All of the action of your period is happening in your reproductive system. So this is your reproductive system. It's made up of your ovaries, your fallopian tubes, your uterus, your cervix, and your vagina. I even have this adorable little uterus here. And you can see here, these are the ovaries on either side, and then the fallopian tubes on either side. You have your uterus, your cervix, and then down here would be the vagina. Okay, so I know that these parts of our bodies can bring up embarrassment. They're just obviously like the private parts of us. So it just brings up embarrassment or just sort of like a feeling, which I totally get. But I just want you to know, nothing to be embarrassed about. These are just beautiful, important parts of your body. And nothing to be embarrassed about, okay? And these parts of your body, all these parts that make up your reproductive system, this is where your period is happening. So what's happening during your period? Well, during your period, your uterus is breaking down and shedding its uterine lining. And this lining is made up of blood and tissue, and that's what's coming out through your vagina when you have your period, okay? So it's like all of the lining of this part. I know this is a silly model to do this on, but she's cute. So all of this in here, it's like this built up lining within the walls of your uterus, and it's shedding out. So it's shedding out and out through you. Okay. Now, it's also doing this by way of contractions of your uterine muscles. And this is also the big cause of period cramps. So these contractions are a tightening and a releasing of your uterus. So it's doing this to help shed off, shimmy off that uterine lining. So if you're wondering why cramps happen with your period, or you're worried about cramps and what's even causing them, a big cause of them is this tightening and relaxing, these contractions in your uterus, with the purpose of helping that uterine lining shed off. It's like the action that helps it to come off and then come out. Okay, so what else is happening during your period? Lots is happening, as you can see. There's also this hormonal component to your period. So the first couple of days of your period, your body is in a really low hormonal state. These low levels of your reproductive hormones are what can cause that low mood and low energy that we associate with periods. We're really in a hormonal state that is very low. So it kind of makes sense that we would also kind of feel low, like low in mood, low in energy, that type of thing. And also wanting to do kind of like low-key things, relaxing things, because we're really in a state that's just hormonally coded to be lower. So that's what's happening physically within your reproductive system, and then hormonally. We have all this action going on in your reproductive system with the whole uterine lining shedding off, all that's happening. And then we have this hormonal component with these low levels of hormones, which are also what trigger your period to start. It's actually this low level of hormones that trigger your body to start bleeding and start to release the chemicals, these prostaglandins, to help do those contractions and help your uterine lining shed. So it's all linked together, but there's more to it. There's also this energetic state to your period. So this is something that I think really goes overlooked, and maybe you haven't heard this before, but there's this energetic state of our bodies. So like how I'm saying, we have this whole physical thing going on within our reproductive system that we were talking about, and then we have this hormonal state. And that creates this energetic kind of experience inside of us. It's sort of like creates this inner landscape. So you can kind of think of it as like what you're experiencing of of what's happening, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the energy you're in, the state that you're in, what you're experiencing of it. So this energetic state, it holds a lot of symbolism too. Your period is really significant because it marks the end of one cycle, and it also marks the beginning of a new cycle. So you're releasing this last cycle, right? You're kind of releasing what's happened in this last cycle. You're letting go of the past, and you're literally letting go of your uterine lining that you built up through this past cycle. And at the same time, you're also beginning a new cycle. So you're also filling yourself up with what you need for this new cycle, right? You're giving yourself maybe a break emotionally, creatively, filling yourself back up so that you have the energy to take on this next cycle. And just from a physical health standpoint, you're also, supporting yourself, replenishing yourself so that your body is healthy and has the nutrients it needs to move through another menstrual cycle and to build up your uterine lining again and develop eggs in your follicles and, complete this whole process. It needs your nutrients, it needs your energy. So it's a very significant time of release and replenishment. And I think that too is why our periods are such a natural time that we just crave some rest. We just crave being lazy and taking a break. And I think that holds a lot of significance, but that's definitely a piece of your experience, very likely, of your period, of what's happening during your period, is also just this experience of like wanting to just be, or just not even necessarily wanting to be, but just moving slower and being more tired and just needing to rest and relax a little more. That's very likely a part of your period experience. Hopefully that gives you a little deeper significance as to what that state means, what your period, that lower, slower kind of state means. It's a powerful point of rest and replenishment, right? Letting go, reflecting, resting as you let go of your past cycle, and replenishing as you move into this new cycle. Remember that that's just such a significant piece of it, is that your period marks both an end and a beginning. So that's this deeper energetic experience of your period, and it's really significant. And it's not something that we are taught in school or anywhere, really. So I hope that this gives you a little insight and gives you permission to see things, see your period and your whole menstrual cycle with meaning and significance. You mean a lot, and so does your period, and so does your whole menstrual cycle. So I hope this opens your eyes a little to seeing that significance. You mean a lot, and your period means a lot, and I hope this helped to answer your question. What is going on during your period? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it valuable and empowering, and I will see you in my next video.
Ever wondered why women get periods, or what a period feels like, or how to know when your period will come each month? Subscribe to Dear Love for answers to all your powerful questions.
That's all for now, loves.